Hi, this is Travis from POSGuys.com. Today we're taking an in-depth look at the ET50 series of tablets. You have both the ET50 and the ET55. The only difference between the two is that with the 55 you add cellular capability if you're going to be taking it into the field and you want to have an internet connection with your tablet, versus the ET50, which relies on Wi-Fi. So it's an inside the four walls situation versus an outside the four walls. There's two OSs available with the ET50 currently. There's Android running Android M, Marshmallow, and then there's also Windows 10.1. Previously there was a Windows 8.1 version and earlier versions of Android. Zebra's pretty good at making the new OSs available. Sometimes you have to do the update by downloading the files off of the Zebra website. Other times they're made available on the devices themselves. It depends on the version you get, whether the Play Store will be there, or a more enterprise version without the Play Store services where updates are done in a more manual fashion. The tablet's available in two sizes, an 8.3 inch and a 10.1 inch. The processing power on either tablet is about the same. The battery's a little bigger on the 10.1 than on the 8.3, but with a smaller screen size, then it uses less power on it. The processors are slightly different in the Windows version and in the Android version. In the Windows version, you're running an Intel processor. They're both quad-core processors. It's a 1.6 gigahertz processor in the Windows version versus a 1.3 quad-core Snapdragon processor in the Android. The Android only uses 2 gigabytes of RAM. The Windows version has a 4 gigabyte memory on it, and they both can use SD cards to expand out. They have onboard memory as well in about 32 gigabytes for general tablet use. One of the main things that makes this different than your consumer level of tablets is the durability of the devices. These have an IP seal. It's an IP65 for water and dust resistance, meaning that you can get it slightly wet, you can spray the screen down with water, or if you need to clean it, you can squirt it with some kind of cleaner and wipe it down. If it's a dusty environment and dust gets on it, you don't have to worry about any kind of moving parts like a fan or something that would clog up the internals and stop it from working. So dust and water resistant. It's not dust and water proof. You can't take it underwater, but you can get it a little bit wet. Additionally, there is replaceable batteries on it and an expansion battery pack. So the replaceable battery is pretty easy to replace. You can do it in the field. You pop off the back, take the battery out, put a new battery in, and you can use it. With the expansion pack, it takes up your battery capacity on the 10.1 version up to 15,500 milliamps, which gives it 24 hours of consistent use. So if you're using these devices in the field, definitely go for the expansion battery pack. With the expansion battery pack, you also get a barcode scanner built into it. This is the previous model, the ET1. This has the barcode scanner on it, so you can see what it's like to have it. The ET50s I have in front of me don't have the expansion pack or the barcode scanner. But basically you get two triggers on the device, you also get a hand strap, and then the barcode scanner is right on the top of the device. It's a 2D barcode scanner, meaning that you can scan it at any angle. You can read driver's license, you can read off of phones, you can scan 2D barcodes that are on shipping labels or 1D barcodes that are on product items. Either way it works, it scans it very well. Wherever the cursor is on the screen is where it scans to. If you're using the ScanWedge utility, if your app is programmed to use the barcode scanner, then you can scan anywhere in the app that you want. The tablets also have cameras built into it. There's a front-facing camera. If you're going to be doing any kind of Skype work on it, then you can use that camera on the front. And then on the back, there's an 8 megapixel camera on the back. So if you're going to be taking video of something happening or you need to document your inventory, then you can use the camera on it to do that kind of documentation. It's a full touch display like most tablets. It uses Gorilla Glass, so it's a little more durable on it. When it's not using the expanded back, it's about a 3-foot drop spec on it. It's a little over a 3-foot drop spec. When you add the expanded back, it puts it in sort of like a life-proof case, so you get up to a 6-foot drop spec when you're using the battery expansion pack. It puts a rubber edge around the side of it as well to add increased durability. One of the extremely nice features of this tablet, and what makes it different than a consumer tablet, is a full-size USB port on the side. So if you need to hook up something like an external barcode scanner or a printer, then you can use the full-size USB port and plug it right in. So whether it's a printer, scanner, any type of USB device, you can just hook directly to the tablet rather than having to get some kind of adapter or only being able to use a Bluetooth model to tether that accessory to it. There's also the charging port on the back if you want to charge with your standard micro USB cable. There's a headphone port as well, and your SD card also goes in the side. This is the single charging base for it. It's also an expansion base, so it adds USB ports to it as well as an Ethernet connection if you want to get a wired connection. And there's an HDMI out if you're going to be using a bigger display. It holds it in really sturdy, and then there is a button on the side that releases it. When you release it, you can see that there is two hooks that hold it in place. So that it's not wobbly at all. It's very stationary if you're using it inside the charging base. Your standard Windows version runs Windows 10.1. When you go into it, it's just like any other Windows computer. You have your tiles that you can select from, and you configure it just like you would any other tablet. Your on-screen keyboard is the standard Windows keyboard made available for it. Anything you can do with a regular Windows laptop, you can pretty much do with this tablet. There's two versions of the Android. This is the version with Play services. So there are Play stores there. So if you want to download apps off of the Play Store, then you can simply go to that and you can download it like you would downloading onto your phone. The more enterprise version does not have Play services, so that it's a little more locked down. In order to load apps, you'll have to sideload them via the APK, or you can use the Zebra App Store if you want to download Zebra specific applications on it. While the ET50 was designed to be used primarily in a logistics and inventory type of manner, it does work for point of sale. I'm running Square on this, so free point of sale software. I have the expansion base, and then in the back of it I have a USB barcode scanner, a USB receipt printer, and then the cash drawer connects to the receipt printer. So these are very low cost accessories attached to the tablet, and it works just like you would expect. Add items to the order, and then you can check out. The cash drawer opens, and the receipt prints. So it works just like the iPad version, but instead of having to use a consumer device, you can use a retail hardened device, and then you can use cheaper accessories. You don't have to buy a Bluetooth barcode scanner, a Wi-Fi receipt printer. You can just buy USB accessories and then use an Android tablet. So it's one thing that you consider. Additionally, if you wanted to do kind of some line busting where you're checking people out, you can pop it out of the stand, and then you can take the barcode scanner, and instead of having it plugged into the base, you just plug it in to the tablet directly, and now you can line bus using your barcode scanner that you had attached to the base. Overall, the ET50 is definitely the best tablet that Zebra has ever made. It's a big improvement over the older version, the ET1. The OS is just a lot improved since that version. There's a lot more apps available for point of sale, for inventory, for logistics, whether you're capturing signatures during delivery or you're just counting things in your warehouse and you just want to use a simple spreadsheet program. It's a great device to consider. It is a lot more than a consumer device, but you get more ruggedization, you get replaceable batteries, and it's just made to be in tougher environments that may be dirty. You might need to clean the device, and so overall, it's something you can rely on versus trying to rely on consumer level stuff. While it may be cheaper and you may think, oh, I'll just replace it every time I need it, that's kind of a hassle. If you're trying to do inventory in the middle of the night and you break your tablet, you're kind of out of luck. There's not a lot you can do in the middle of the night versus getting an industrial device that if you drop it from 3 feet, you're not so worried about it breaking. So definitely something to consider. It's a great little tablet, 8.1 8.3 or a 10.1 inch version, depending on whether you want a bigger display or something that fits in your hand a little bit better. For more information on the ET50 and ET55, please visit us at POSGuys.com. Thanks.